Has the Louis Vuitton Murakami collection relaunch been ruined? Has it been such a disaster that we no longer care? Are we even thinking about the cherry blossoms and the cherry releases that are due to come shortly? Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. There is no getting away from the fact that the re-release of the Murakami collection with Louis Vuitton had some issues, a few little problems, and not everybody was happy with how the launch went. Not everybody was happy with how they dealt with pieces, how they dealt with influencers, how they dealt with the products themselves. There is also thought out there that maybe all of this mess was a genius marketing strategy by Louis Vuitton, that they created all of the hype, all of the worry, all of the concern, what's going to happen, is there enough pieces, is there not, to generate this hype, to generate this frenzy that we all wanted to buy into this collection because there was going to be scarcity, there was going to be people not getting pieces, people missing out. Did they tap into FOMO in a way that was so perfectly executed that the handbag Louis Vuitton luxury community went crazy and we all went snap, 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 buy, buy, buy to buy as many pieces of this collection as we could? Now, I am not sitting here as anybody in judgment, because if you watched my Louis Vuitton Murakami collection unboxing, I unboxed 7 pieces of this collection. I pre-ordered at the start of December 7 different pieces. One of them was a bag. The bag that I chose from the collection was the Nano Speedy in the white multicolour. And then I also chose 6 other accessory type pieces. I got the notebook cover, I got the clay, I got the perfume colour, I got the cosmetic case, got a few other things. I loved it. I missed out on this in the year 2000. There was no way that I could afford multicolour Louis Vuitton back then. I couldn't afford to even go into the store back then. So when it was being re-released, it was very nostalgic and I wanted to get on that. I wanted to own some of this collection and I completely own that. But I am not going to sit here and say to you that it was not without its challenges. Fortunately for me, the pieces that I had pre-ordered, my fabulous SA in Dublin, Anita, was able to secure them, and getting those pieces ended up going very smoothly. But if you watch luxury YouTube, luxury TikTok, Instagram, any community talking about Louis Vuitton and the Murakami release, it is clear that it was fraught with problems. There are people who still have not got their pre-ordered pieces, people that are confirming that their pre-orders were cancelled, people confirming that their pre-order is still showing as almost like a possibility. So don't forget, when you pre-order with Louis Vuitton, you pay 100% deposit. So these people who had pre-ordered these pieces that they don't know if they're getting them, now have to make a decision how long they leave their money sitting with Louis Vuitton, how long this 100% deposit sits in Louis Vuitton's bank. Add up all of the people in this position, gathering interest one would assume, and you have to make a decision how long you leave that money sitting there before you either call time and say, no, give me my money back. But then, of course, if you want the piece, you're out of the pre-order system and you're no longer on the list. Or do you just leave it sitting there waiting in the hope that you get your piece? This is the position that a lot of people have been left in. There's been a lot of videos put out there on this. I have made a video on this. I've also made TikToks about this. And so many of you have come into the comment box and shared your experience. And so many people are reporting that they didn't get their piece, they're still waiting, and they're in this position. They're in the position of not knowing what's going on. Does that make the launch of this collection a disaster? Does it make us say, enough, I'm done with Louis Vuitton and I'm not going to buy that anymore? I'm going to be completely frank with you and say, no, it doesn't for me. I am a Louis Vuitton lover, though I am not going to defend all of the aspects of this launch. I am going to say that I was very lucky that Anita was able to get all of the pieces that I wanted to get ordered, and I am very grateful for that. There was an issue with packaging in that Louis Vuitton, firstly, 2 issues. All over social media, there are the bags and the pieces of Murakami that were gifted to influencers. The influencers got a fabulous setup. They got a beautiful box. It came in its own Murakami box, its own packaging, its own dust bag. It looked fabulous. That is what the influencers are unboxing and showing on their social medias. That is not what the paying people got. And I did say on my TikTok, and I stand over this, I think that if Louis Vuitton is going to create special packaging for a special release, that special packaging should be given to the people who are spending their hard-earned money to buy the releases and the collection. I do not think that the influencers who are being gifted the pieces should be given superior packaging and a superior experience to the people that are actually buying them. It's almost like false advertising, because the reason that they gift them to the influencers is so as they show these pieces all over their socials, which makes you and I want to or be influenced to buy more of this collection or buy a piece of this collection. So if you're gifting this to influencers with the sole intention of them sharing it to build up the flurry, to increase the sales of it, they should be showing exactly what the people like myself are going to be buying. They should not be showing a superior experience that you can't buy with money. No matter how much money you spend, you're not getting the packaging that they're getting. And I know some people are going to say it's just packaging, and yes it is, but it's part of the experience. And I do not think that they should be gifting to influencers an experience to show to everybody on social media that you can't get. That is issue number one with the packaging. There is then issue number two, in that the packaging that they did prepare for this collection, not everybody got. When I unboxed my pieces, just grab one, I did get these. These were a limited edition tag that came with the boxes. You can see the white multicolour on the back, and it has this little person here, and I've had some funny comments on my TikTok about what this resembles. Made me giggle. This is the normal blue Louis Vuitton ribbon. Now, some people are saying, and I did get comments, that you shouldn't have bought the pieces if you're not getting everything. I took the decision for me personally that as much as I would have loved to have all of the Murakami packaging, I still wanted to buy the Murakami collection. So I was still happy to buy my pieces without getting all of the packaging. And that's a personal choice. If you feel that it has let you down so much, or that it has ruined the experience, that without getting all of the packaging, you don't want to take the piece, that's also your choice. But from the comments on my videos and on other people's videos and TikToks, this has been widespread. It's not just certain stores that didn't get the packaging. Lots of stores didn't get all of the packaging or got pieces of the packaging. So if you're making the decision not to go through with your purchases, that will impact a lot of people, because there's a lot of people having to choose if they don't want the piece because of the packaging, and the piece itself you might not be able to get again. Just putting that out there. But when I got mine, I got the normal ribbon, so I didn't get the Murakami ribbon, which has the Louis Vuitton with the multicolour and the Murakami and the little pictures on it that went on some of the parcels. I did get the Murakami shopping bag. There's one right here. I did get this. I know some people didn't get those. And I did not get the Murakami tissue paper, which would have been lovely. It would have been part of the experience. So that is issue number two with the packaging. Those two issues, combine them with the amount of people who didn't get their pieces, who were left with a lot of anxiety and stress about whether they were getting their pieces, their deposits being held and their pieces not delivered when they thought they were, now not knowing what's happening, making the decision what to do, all of that combined. And from the comment box, it would seem that a lot of people in America had maybe the worst experiences, and I know that I'm going to have people telling me that's not the case. There was other places that were bad as well, but just going from my comment box, I got a lot of people in America saying we're not even getting our pieces, this isn't here, that's not there. It's been a complete and utter disaster. So has that completely ruined it for you? Has it made you say I'm not going to buy any more of this? Has it made you say that is Louis Vuitton's at their work? Have they built up this hype to try and make people buy into it because of the scarcity model, and that you want it because it seems as if it's not going to always be available? Has that all been some ploy? If it has, I have to say I don't think it was the SAs involved in it, because I've spoken to a few SAs who were not in happy places, having to tell people that their pieces didn't come, or that I know that they'd had some people very unhappy with them about packaging, about pieces, and I think the SAs, a lot of them have been put in a very difficult position. But all of this combined, does it make this launch a disaster? Does it make this launch reflect on Louis Vuitton so badly that it's now going to impact on the second and the third wave re-release of Murakami? For me personally, what I was most interested in this collection was the multicolour. I thought it would be the black. It ended up being more the white, although I bought little bits from the black as well. But certainly the multicolour was what I was most excited about. But there is also to come in March the Cherry Blossoms, which was also a popular Murakami collaboration. I have seen some of the leaked lookbooks for this. It does appear as if the Cherry Blossom collection and the Cherry collection is smaller. There's less pieces than there is in the multicolour. But Cherry Blossom is due to come in March, and Cherries I think are due to come at the end of April or May. There is in the Cherries the monogram with the cherries, and there's also denim with the cherries. And the Cherry Blossom, I believe, is against monogram, and it's the Cherry Blossoms painted onto the pieces. There are some trunk pieces, there are some hard-sided pieces. There is a Nice Mini in the Cherry Blossom that looks fabulous. I really like it, and it would be a lovely piece of the Cherry Blossom. I imagine the trunk version in the Cherry Blossom is stunning, but I imagine it'd be very expensive. So there are pieces coming through in that, and then there's going to be the cherries as well. When there are better images and better information available, I will do a follow-up video on those two other releases and what I'm thinking about the pieces. But the images that I have seen so far aren't great, and I wouldn't want to share those with you. But does this impact that? Do you think that how badly, if we say that, the multicolour release went for a lot of people? Do we think that's going to impact on the second and third wave of these releases? Are you still going to try and buy the second and third wave of these? Are you still interested in getting the Cherry Blossoms and the cherries? I know a lot of people are very excited about these pieces. I know there's perfume holder coming. I think the perfume holder is maybe in the Cherry Blossoms. I did buy the perfume holder in the white monogram, this version of it, and I absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful. That piece, I like the perfume holders. I know that they're a strange thing to be very excited about, but I really, really like them. So do we think how the first wave of this is going to impact those second and third waves? For me personally, and I could be completely wrong, but my own personal perception is that the multicolour re-release was probably the one that most people were most excited and hyped about. I would imagine that most people were wanting to buy the multicolour. That is why it went first. That is why it was so larger than the other two that are coming in so many more different pieces. I think that for me was the most iconic of the Murakami. But I do also know from the comment box there's a lot of people very excited about the Cherry Blossoms and the cherries. And I have to say for me, that if there is a piece in either of those collection or pieces that I really, really love, how the Murakami launch went won't stop me ordering them. It will not. The fact that I had a little bit of uncertainty, but Anita sorted that out very quickly, the fact that the packaging wasn't all there, etc., is not going to put me off. If I want to buy something else from this collection, I will still order any piece that I wanted to order from the Cherry Blossom or the cherries. Although for me, as I've said, I think if there are pieces I want to order from those collections, it will be a lot less than it was from the multicolour, because the multicolour was what I was most excited about. But if there are pieces, yes, I will still order them. I don't think that for me, the release of it has been that tarred, that untarnished, that it will stop me buying from those other two collections. But I fully accept that I am coming from a position where I was able to get all of the pieces that I pre-ordered. I got them pretty smoothly. They were there on time. They arrived at the launch. There was no waiting. There was no uncertainty. There was no my deposit being held for longer. So I appreciate that I'm coming at that from having had a very good, apart from the packaging, which for me is minor, from having had a very positive experience. So I understand that my view on that is going to come from a place in slightly more rose-tinted glasses than what some people's are. I do know that there's a lot of anger from a lot of people and upset from how they have been treated. And I would imagine if you're on the receiving end of that side of the treatment, in that you still don't know what's happening, you didn't get your pieces, you can't get through to people. I heard stories about, I apologise because I'm pretty bunged, so ignore what's going on from up here, but I heard stories of people that are struggling to get replies, they're struggling to get people to come back and answer them about what's happening with their pieces. Are they coming? Are they not coming? What do they do then about their deposits? So if you are on the receiving end of that side of how this launch has went, I would anticipate and assume that a lot of people in those positions are going to be thinking, I don't care how much I loved the Cherry Blossom or the cherries. I don't care how much I really wanted that. I'm not doing that again. I am not paying my deposit again. I'm not putting myself back into that system. I don't even know if I'm getting those pieces, so I'm certainly not signing up to see if I'm going to get these other new pieces that are meant to be coming. And I would imagine a lot of people that have been impacted on that side of it are going to say no, and they're not going to order what they maybe would have ordered had the launch went really smoothly and been a very positive experience for everybody. Because let's be honest, when there is a re-release of a collection like this, it's not like Louis Vuitton owes us anything, but we're paying customers. So if they're re-releasing one of their most popular collections and you have paid your money and you purchase with Louis Vuitton and you have ordered pieces, that should be a happy and joyous event for everybody involved. There should be the buzz of launch day. Your pieces should be arriving. You should be told to come and get them. You should come and get them, and it's all a bit of an experience, and it's being presented to you, and it's packaged lovely, and everything's lovely about it, and it should be positive and joyful. That's part of what you're paying for. Yes, you're paying for the items. Yes, you're paying for the things you're going home with. But you're also, when you buy luxury, because let's be honest, none of us actually believe it costs £1,800 with a little bit of profit to make one of these. Of course it doesn't. You're paying for the name, you're paying for the brand, you're paying for what's meant to be the whole luxury experience. The whole experience of going into the store and the bag and opening it, and all of that being packaged up. So when they take that away from a launch that you've been excited about and paid your money for, it does tarnish that experience, and it ruins part of what that experience should be. So I can fully understand why there are people saying, no, don't care what's coming in wave 2 and wave 3. I'm not ordering any of it. What about for you? Let me know in the comment box. Are you over Louis Vuitton? Do you think no after what happened with the multicolour? Are you still looking to get pieces from the second and the third wave? Or are you like me in a position where you were lucky and it went a bit smoother and you're still happy to order the pieces that you were looking to get? Let me know what you think in the comment box. And if this has been a little bit controversial, I do know that there are so many people that have been treated very differently in this launch, and people will be coming from it where everything's went like mine luckily smoothly, and other people that have been treated really badly. So I totally appreciate that there are going to be different viewpoints on this, because what should have been was that everybody was treated exactly the same, and every area, I don't think it was per customer, I think it was the areas, I think, is how maybe it didn't get sorted out properly, but everyone should have had the same experience, and that, I'm not defending that. No way should there have been some people that went smoothly, some people's that didn't, some people that got packaging, some people that didn't, some people's pre-orders came, some people's didn't. I am not defending that. So I totally get that there's going to be a variety of opinion on this, but let me know what you think in the comment box, and let me know if this has put you off or not ordering any of the later pieces. If you've enjoyed this chit chat in any way, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please do consider subscribing. And if you're not done with me yet, I'm going to leave another video for you on the screen to enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching me. Please take care, and I will see you again in the next one.